Oh,
right?
Yes. Nicholas Gers saying, always creating steel toe content. It's time. So, fucking Nikki. Little Nikki over here in our chat decided to get the poor Opester fired up.
Oh, he's old.
Yeah, and I don't know. He gave me 3 clips of Opie talking about steel toe. And it was all because, Nicholas actually took his Opie viewing and said, I'm going to use my Opie viewing to create content for the morning show that I listen to.
Yep.
So Nicholas said, well, what do I want Aaron to talk about? And he went, well, I want Aaron to talk about Opie. Well, how do I get Aaron to talk about Opie if Opie doesn't talk about Aaron? So Nicholas decided to go into Opie's stream and go, hey, Ope, Aaron said, and Steel Toe said some shit about your Iron Sheik photo. Knowing that Opie's a dipshit and that Opie doesn't check on any of this shit, he just flies in blind.
Well, he heard you're a bad dude from Lure Go. He just eats it up now.
Exactly. Now, I want to tell you something before Opie starts lying in this video. Before Opie went through our whole channel and found one little slight on our channel about him, which was that he wasn't the funny one on O&A.
Shocking.
But he does have a family and seems well-adjusted.
It's a compliment, if anything.
Opie decided to prove us wrong by canceling the interview he had scheduled with us and blocking me on Twitter. So I decided, well, Opie makes dog shit content now. Let's fuck with Opie. Mm-hmm. Opie has this attitude that because we were O&A fans, that we can't criticize Opie ever. Anybody who criticizes Opie now must not be a real Opie and Anthony fan. To which I would argue, I go back and listen to old O&A all the time. I'm watching the Scorch stuff now.
Yep.
I would say that you aren't a real Opie and Anthony fan unless Opie is the guy you have the most criticism of.
I would agree to that.
So we go breaking Opie's balls, and as Laughing Lion says, he has to go get his fucking shine box. So Opie does these pouty fucking overreactions to people saying shit. Remember, Opie DM'd me. And he said, you do a good show. At least you do an actual show. You seem like a guy. I wish you the best with your program. You seem like you put a decent show together. We're going to hear some take-backsies from Opie.
Okay.
Opie's going to give you some take-backsies because Nicholas, first name Nicholas, last name Gers, sent him a chat and hurt his feelings.
He's an agent of chaos.
He is an agent of chaos, and I love it. We were emailing back and forth yesterday. I said, boy, you really got the Opester fired up, didn't you?
And I think it's good that you and, people like Nicholas Gurr can finally have a bond, yes. Can bond over things together.
So Opie is going to read Steel Toe the Riot Act here. And, honestly, we've heard this from Opie before. He said things like,
why would I get involved with a steel toe?
So, Victor, check it out. If you hear anything that's worth clipping out of this one for a drop, feel free. This is Nicholas starting shit with Opester.
Steel Toe said it was distasteful of you to put a pickup of the Sheik after he pissed himself.
Fair. Yes, fair. I did. As a big wrestling fan who loves the Iron Sheik, loves him as a personality, thinks he was great. He had just died at 81 years old. And this shows the lack of broadcasting talent Opie has. This shows the lack of humor ability that Opie actually has. Opie goes, he just died. Oh, what's funny is when he was on O&A and he pissed himself. Okay,
so funny.
Yeah, that is a funny picture, Ope. You're right. That was a funny moment from O&A history.
In that moment.
It's not the thing you put up and then make your RIP Sheik post in. You will be missed, Sheik. Rest in peace. Here's you pissing yourself as an elderly man.
Just like at most funerals or celebration of lives and stuff, they have some of their most dignified pictures up. The good times, you know.
We played clips of Sheik doing shoot interviews shitting on people because it was fucking hilarious. And Opie, here's what I hate about Opie. He'll put up the picture of Iron Sheik pissing himself. And then when people like me criticize him and go, dude, that's kind of shitty to say RIP to the guy and then show a picture of him peeing his pants, he'll go like, oh, no, you're not a fan of Opie and Anthony. It's just a joke. It's like, well, then post it as a joke. My problem was you posted it as an RIP. Post it as a joke, stand by your joke. But he wants to have it both ways. He posted as an RIP, and then we go, hey, Opie, this really sucks as an RIP. And then he goes, yeah, but it was a joke. God. It's like, well, then post it as a joke, fuckhead.
He just died.
Yeah.
Let the body cool first.
All right, so let's listen to Opie get mad at Steel Toe. And remember, Opie is like Chad. Opie's like Chad in that...
I'm like, wherever, who cares? It doesn't matter.
You know, he's an I don't care guy. It doesn't matter. He says things like...
why would I get involved with a Steel Toe?
Let's watch Opie get involved with a Steel Toe.
Steel Toe is a whiny little baby. He claims to be an Opie and Anthony fan. He obviously isn't an Opie and Anthony fan. He has no idea of the history of the picture.
Opie, I fully am aware. I've listened to the episode before. Could it possibly be, Opie, that I just thought it was a shitty picture to put up as an RIP? Just defensive right off the get-go.
Distasteful was the correct word. Like, yeah. If you had any self-awareness, Opie, you could have said, haha, yeah, that was kind of shitty of me, I guess. But, it was my favorite memory of him.
Hey, Opie, I have an idea. When you die, I'm going to tell your family. I'm going to go to Opie's family. I'm going to say, hey, you know how you remember Opie? At his funeral thing or as his big remembrance, put up this video of him stomping on a homeless man's cake.
Yes, that was the highlight.
Yeah, I mean, that's what you should put up there. That you know what they would say to me? They would go, that's pretty distasteful, don't you think?
Yeah, don't you think we should put up like a family picture?
You guys are babies. Come on, Ope. I criticized your little picture and you're gonna throw a fit. You're already turning red, Opie. For God's sake, man.
Just a guy trying too hard that doesn't have much to talk about, so he has to find things people are doing and attack them.
What did you make a living doing, you fucking... Since you were 18? What did you... The only reason you became a millionaire is because you met a guy who made a song parody about electric shocking O.J. Simpson. So, I'm sorry, Opie. It's hard to take you seriously. Didn't he just make a video that said, I invented Jocktober?
Yes, he did.
Hey, Opie, what was Jocktober? That was an entire month of you doing half shows of just shitting on things.
Finding what people are doing and shitting on them.
Now, Opie, first of all, your summation of our show is wrong. We talk about the news, we talk about topics, and then for about 20 minutes, we shit on morons like you and Zumach and others who have made fools of themselves. So no, that's not what our show is. But the thing you claim you invented and that you're most proud of is the thing you're saying I do. Hey, Opie. Could this be a little bit of that famous Opster projection that we've seen so many times? Just wondering.
I'd like to extend an apology to you. None of this would be happening if I hadn't brought up that he even posted the picture
of the Iron Sheik.
I'm very sorry.
Well, I tell you what, Opie's really giving it to me. Opie, here's a good sign that you're bad at shitting on people. When they see it, laugh their balls off, and then play it on their show. Continue, Opie. And by the way, Nick, you got to be very excited that you got him heated like this.
Steel Toe is a loser. And for the people that don't know, and most of you don't, he's a live streamer that just has a lame-ass audience. He's not talking to anybody. I'm not...
Opie, I'm talking to more than 10 times the people you are.
Right. You broadcast on Facebook for like 50 people.
Opie, I am a nobody. Absolutely. I'm far less of a nobody than you are right now doing your show. Could I match the Opie and Anthony heyday? No, there's only like 2 or 3 people who could match the Opie and Anthony heyday. But you're the only one who seems insecure about that. The rest of us can absolutely admit, yeah, you found Anthony, you found Jimmy, and they carried you to stardom. Absolutely, Opie, and you should be very happy with that.
That was great.
But you're not, because one host who lives in your head said that your picture of the Iron Sheik was kind of a shitty picture to put up as the rest in peace picture. And now listen to you. I got 3 one-minute clips of you just losing your shit.
I'm not talking to that many people, but I had my run in the big time, and he's a guy that'll never have his run in the actual big time.
Hey, Opie, I'm still younger than you were when you were on Sirius XM by about a decade. So... never say never there, Chief. I still got time, and don't worry. If it happens, I'm going to remind you.
So you're saying there's a chance?
I'm saying Opie was quite an old man when he finally got famous. You know what? I got a bigger audience than Opie did when he was on WBAB. I've got a bigger audience now than when he was doing overnights on BAB when he was in his 30s.
Yeah, but he didn't always have that view either.
Right.
He's trying way too hard. He's talking about a picture of me, Anthony, Jim Norton with the Iron Sheik.
He's worked up.
We're taking a group picture. We all noticed that he had an accident in front of his pants.
Yes, and then you used that as your, hey, like when his body was just turning cold, you went, rest in peace, Iron Sheik.
Yeah, that picture itself wasn't the problem or like what happened, to cause said picture or whatever. It was more so that you picked it as a remembrance photo.
Well, don't worry. He's got 2 more minutes of ranting about Steel Toe over this. So, Nicholas, you did start this and you did get him worked up, but boy, does Steel. I think only Anthony and Steel Toe get him this worked up.
You're taking these arrows standing.
He really, he's really fucking me right in the ass, I tell you what.
Taking a punch like Gino Visconti.
Oh, hell yeah.
His pants. We were shock jocks doing crazy ass stuff. So I pointed just as they were taking the picture down at the spot. And it turned out to be an incredibly legendary picture.
Opie, I'm not disagreeing with anything you're saying. You're right. It was a hacky, shock jockey pick. Ooh, look at, he went pee-pee in his pants. I just don't think that's a good rest in peace on the day you die photo. That's all. I don't think that photo honors the Iron Sheik that much. I think if you would have shown him with Bob Backlund in the camel clutch, Hulk Hogan in the camel clutch, something like that, that would have been a more honorary tribute. You decided to go the shock jock pee-pee pants route, and I said that seemed a little hacky. And I think deep down, Opie, you think it's a little hacky because I would never be this defensive about a picture I posted. Ever.
That's true.
Ever.
Yeah.
That the Opie and Anthony community, real Opie and Anthony fans, appreciated and loved. Some say it's one of the greatest moments in Opie and Anthony history, even though it wasn't on the air.
It's one of the greatest moments in Opie and Anthony history, but it wasn't on the air. Hey, guys, we saved our best shit for when people weren't even listening to us.
Even so, that's not what this was about. It was just, you don't honor somebody you loved and cared about by posting them having piss on their pants.
It is, as a radio guy, it makes me laugh that a guy who thinks he was so legendary and great at radio, when in reality, 2 of the funniest people in the country carried his ass. I love that he's sitting there. As a radio guy, I'm enjoying him going, it was one of the greatest moments in our show's history, even though it didn't happen on our show. Yeah. Opie, that's usually a good metric that it wasn't one of your best moments in the show's history.
And then a little backstory to the picture. The Iron Sheik didn't give 2 craps about the picture, Steel Toe, you loser. God, these little live streamers, they're just losers.
Look at how his face is contorting over me saying that I thought a picture of the Sheik pissing his pants was not an appropriate way to say farewell.
Right, quite literally just distasteful. I don't think he even said anything about Opie himself.
By the way, Nicholas, do you get the idea that I do? That this rant about me is not about the Sheik picture? That Opie may think about Steel Toe a little bit more than outside of your comment? Somebody saw the Jocktober video, didn't they?
I have no idea.
Somebody saw the Jocktober video a little bit.
They're just pathetic losers that literally can't turn on a mic and just talk about stuff. If they're not beating up somebody and basically stealing the Opie and Anthony Jocktober bit, they have nothing else to do with their lives.
But
Opie, I know you don't listen to any of this shit, and it's very evident. All we do is turn on the mics and talk about shit. I think he's confusing me with Karl.
Maybe, but...
Because Karl admittedly does Jocktober. Opie, we don't.
And you were a big fan of Jocktober. You like to claim it as your own.
Yeah, even though it wasn't, but I get it.
This is just like anybody who says that they hate us and that they're monsters, but haven't listened to a second of the show. You're one and the same.
Opie, you're not good at shitting on things because it always turns into projection, and then you criticize people for being a thing you were.
Streams. Anyway, the Iron Sheik then saw the picture because he continued to come into our show after that, signed
Okay, and then that's the end of that clip. We'll go to the third and final clip here as he's still hot under the collar over old Steel Toe.
Oh, man.
for that, signed a bunch of them and had a good laugh about the whole damn thing and had no issue. So if he
Opie, none of us accused the Iron Sheik of hating the photo. All we said, again, I'll repeat it for you again there, Opester, because you seem to have lost the plot as you rant like a crazy washwoman. I said on the day he died, it's not the best RIP post kind of a
Right.
thing.
It might not have even been a bad picture or a bad memory.
It's a funny picture.
Just,
he pissed himself.
It's just not the one you post when somebody dies.
Yeah, that's all, Opie. Fucking relax, dude.
He doesn't know how.
Opie, you're in your 60s. You're going to give yourself a heart
Look
attack.
at that view. You shouldn't be taking any of this shit that seriously.
Right.
Honest to God, if I woke up to
It's
that
not-
every day, I'd be a lot more chill.
It's not his fault.
I want...
No, hold on. It's not his
Okay.
fault because Nicholas wrote him that, and he thinks about Steel Toe a lot. More than he should, because like he said, this is a nobody show, and he's absolutely right.
I want you to take notice while you watch these videos that he's in fact drinking out of a coffee mug that says Zen on it.
I didn't catch that. That is really
the
good.
irony. Yeah.
didn't have an issue, then you shouldn't either. Go find real stuff to talk about.
Look,
Wait,
there it is.
But Opie, we talked about Hunter Biden, Donald Trump, that youth pastor. We talked about the shark attack. We talked about Elliot Page. We talked about Trump getting indicted.
Yellen.
We talked about Janet Yellen. We talked about China. We talked about, the Rhode Island councilman.
Oh, yeah. We've
Opie.
talked about crack more than I'm comfortable with
We
today.
talked about crack. Opie, you're literally in a segment we call overtime. You're not even part of the actual regulation period of the show. I'm sorry to knock down all your arguments, Opie, but you leave me no choice the shitty way you do this. I'm sorry. You're just so bad at it that it just comes natural.
God, they're just little like mosquitoes. You're trying to have a barbecue and you got these.
You hear that? I told you. That's what I was saying. This wasn't about Nicholas's comment.
No.
We are a mosquito on Opie's neck. We've given this man broadcasting malaria.
And I didn't even want to.
No.
You just upset him so much. He picked up his coffee for a drink, held it there so we can all read how zen he is, and he put it back down without drinking.
I'm enjoying this mightily.
See, I've listened to plenty of O&A now, and I want him to be better. Like, I want to look at somebody that I would have really enjoyed, and I want him to do better things.
April, I've been listening to Opie and Anthony for about 16 years, the clips included now. Every time I turn on an Opie and Anthony clip, I've thought that about Opie. God, I just want him to be better. I'm sorry, April. The cavalry ain't coming on that one.
All right.
It's unfortunate. And again, Opie, this all started because you agreed to do an interview. You welched on it because I said one half-ass critical thing, and then you cut off all conversation after you told me that we had a good show. So you're a phony, too, and a very sensitive little boy at 60-some years old.
You got WATP, just a mosquito,
Yep.
not doing anything with their careers. Then you got Steel Toe.
Oh, time out. You can call us nobodies.
That's fine.
You can say that, we don't have a pot to piss in show-wise and audience-wise. Whatever, that's fine with me. Karl has a very large audience. I mean, ours on YouTube, you go to unique viewership, like I said, between 30 and 40,000 people a month. Karl's got like 7,000 people on his Patreon alone. He's got like 30,000 subscribers on his YouTube channel. Karl does very, very well. If we're a mosquito, Karl's at least a hornet.
Oh, yeah.
Come on,
He's a yellow jacket.
Give the man some respect. Guys, I just want to point out he's zen. Can we go back to that? Nicholas, you set him down this road. You set him off this way, but this was Steel Toe and Karl in his head that made him think about this.
What is Mr. Gurr's best get at this point? Getting Opie to say his name like that 3-4 times, or this one?
I think that's the best one,
Okay.
but at the same time, this is a pretty good second place.
Yeah.
With their careers. Then you got Steel Toe. They'll never have a career like I had. Never.
Opie, only 5 people have had a career like you had. I'm okay with that.
Right.
Opie, here's the difference between me and you. I'm at peace with where I'm at. I'm okay with where I'm at. Do I want to move up? Absolutely. And I got plenty of time to do that. But Opie, I'm comfortable with where I am. You're not. You're on your stream going, my piss pants photo was good.
Why didn't you just...
I had a good piss pants photo of the Iron Sheik.
See, the way I read it when I saw that post was that like he wanted to gain attention and chuckles at the expense of the Iron Sheik.
Right.
Who had just died. So in my eyes, I'm like, oh, that's kind of weird.
Opie, look.
Not to mention you posted an O&A picture that you talked fondly of on Instagram, but then you'll hop over here and be like, that was the best day of my life, and Kumia fucked that shit up for us.
And
Never
I
had to
hate
work
the
at that
Opie and
again.
Anthony show. It ruined
Fuck
my life.
Kumia, right?
At
Terrible
least
guy.
Anthony has a sense of humor about his history, Opie.
Oh, yeah. Even in his credit on his show now, he'll put in parentheses the opening.
The Opie and Anthony.
The Opie and Anthony show.
Oh, I just talked to Anthony a couple weeks ago. He seems like he's doing great.
That'll hurt.
God, did he really say that? That's like so pathetic. And you call yourself an old Opie and Anthony fan? Get the hell out of here.
No, I'm not getting the hell out of here. This is way too much fun. You get the hell out of here with your Zen cup.
You get the hell out of here.
You get the hell out of here, Opie.
Should I get you a Zen cup? Drink your Celsius from.
Yeah, I want to drink my crack water from a Zen cup like the Opster. Do you have one that says doggy? I want a doggy cup.
I can get one made if you'd like.
You know what, Ope?
Doggy.
I think what Opie's trying to say is,
Bring it. I don't care.
Every still shot of his, he looks incensed.
he and Chad do kind of sound the same when they get on this rant.
They're a perfect match.
Yeah.
Stupid. Missed the days of my youth getting wowed on the road. Well, hell yeah. Hell to the yeah.
Really? How
so
many
yesterday I
times?
went to the skin doctor. And
He's growing you a cock and a set of balls, you fucking girl.
He's actually growing it on the back of a mouse.
Oh,
And it ran
yeah, like
away.
Mr. Garrison. Oh, Opie. He's just too much fun.
Why so
Well,
angry?
April, I feel properly put in my place.
Oh, I feel shunned. I think I'm going to have to just maybe make myself and my lovely host here a nice breakfast, lay out on my deck in my bikini, and
I would only like
have a beverage for the weekend.
I would just like to have
Cry.
I would like to have just 2 scrambled eggs with cheese.
What are you, a bitch?
Yeah, kind of.
No sausage?
I'm Opie's bitch.
I wanted sausages too.
I'll give you a sausage. Rob Manugan says obscurity is killing Opie. Yeah, see, Opie, you came from up here, and now you're down below us. We were here, and then we had to come down here a little bit, and then kind of leveled out, and we're happy with where we are. You're not happy with who you are.
You know, the only thing that I'll admit to that bothers me about stuff like that is that he sits there and watches that. He didn't even watch the show. He just heard a comment and he thinks that we hate him and all that stuff. I'm like, I could care less, dude. All I said was your piss pants picture wasn't great.
Opie, everything I've ever done to you has been in reaction to you. I have never sought out a problem with you. Everything I have mentioned about you, done about you, everything else is a reaction to something you've done. That's it. Opie loves Zen. Zen Rhino says, I didn't give him permission to drink out of that coffee mug.
Right.
Helgi now calling us the Steel Toe Mosquito Show.
Buzz, buzz.
Buzz, 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 buzz. I'm sending that part to Karl, by the way.
I'm sending you in.
I'm sending
somewhere.
that to Karl, the part where he goes, and WATP. Bzz, 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 bzz. He's accusing Aaron of the shit Opie used to do to Howard. That's a great point.
Well, that's the thing. I think when somebody was known for something, like he was known for like the Jocktober shit and shitting on people.
Yeah.
Like he doesn't want to believe that somebody else could do the thing that he did and do it better.
Yeah.
So he gets mad about it.
Sandy Squatch says, ever take a picture of one of your friends puking their brains out at a party? Now use that picture when they pass away to
I know,
honor them.
Right.
Yeah.
Dude, incontinence is not something that people want to be remembered for. Okay?
Yeah. Welch says he ignores Kevin Brennan every time Kev sends him a link to come on. Look, man, I understand why people don't do W8 or not W. I'm sorry, not W8.
Hear that, Karl?
I was cringe of the week 2 weeks ago. All right, I'm taking it hard.
Hey, Karl and I
Carl and I
might be making amends. He took time out of his day to like a tweet of mine the other day.
I'm the fucking hack of the week, and now he's liking April's tweets. What a fucking heel turn Carl's done.
We're mending fences.
Zen Rhino says Karl would be a murder hornet. Yeah. Carla just bought a house in Florida, Michael B says. Yeah, Florida's got he's got WATP South now. Opie, you can't say the guy's not successful. Patreon alone, like he had a successful career before broadcasting in tech or whatever it was. His Patreon has now allowed him to buy another home. I mean, you can't say he's not successful.
That's something I'm a little jelly of.
Yeah.
I'm very happy for the man, though.
Our career only lets us have our home.
God, there's like 3 states where I could pick out a second home if we could.
Yeah.
It's something to work for.
It's something we're working towards, just like old Karl. Karl also doesn't have 3 kids, I don't believe. So,
God bless, right?
Can definitely get... No, that's not what I'm saying.